Hello, pupils of Mid Sweden University. I came along on the 11th and did an interview with Teresa, and from that interview about my abuse at the hands of my girlfriend, then you had quite a few questions. We weren't able to answer your questions on that day, so I thought I'd make this little video and answer all your questions that you sent. Excuse me looking down because this is where the questions are and I have to read them out. Did Monica ever apologize for her behavior? No, is the answer. She didn't apologize because she didn't believe she did anything wrong. She always said that I had ruined her life, that that I'd ruined her son's life, even though her son lived in Romania. She never apologized for anything. She denied abuse altogether, and it was all the fault of me. So no, she never apologized at all. Question 2. Has the previous relationship affected the new relationship? How you manage or how you feel? Now, this question was asked when I was at in the interview with Teresa, and I said no, never affected me at all. Thinking about it on the way back to England, then I realised, yeah, it did affect me in ways. It affected me in the beginning because I thought, at the back of my head, there was all these questions of when's this going to go wrong, when's this girl going to turn bad, and it kept me at a distance for a while. The other way it affected me was when I was with Monica, anything could set her off, and when we were in bed, I could turn or breathe heavy, sniff, and that would fire her up. That would she would go crazy at me. She would storm out of bed and go sleep in the other room. So I learned to be very, very still and very, very quiet. Even if I was in a uncomfortable position, I wouldn't move. I'd be cramped, and just so I didn't annoy her. When I excuse me, when I was in my new relationship, even now, she says that I'm very, very quiet and very, very still in bed. I sleep right on the edge of the bed because I needed to be a good distance away from Monica. So now I've got to the habit of sleeping right on the edge of the bed. I am very, very quiet and very, very still, and that's all psychological training from previous relationships. So in that way, it does affect it. It doesn't stop me from loving the girl that I have now. It doesn't stop me from enjoying what we have together. But the sleeping thing is the biggest way it affected me. Were you ever accused of abusive behaviours she did to you? I wasn't accused of the abusive behaviours, but there was one incident that I say in my book where we made love and she accused me after that of rape, or threatened to report me for raping her. That really frightened me. That frightened me because I knew what kind of woman she is. You know, I knew that she could turn around and say anything about me, and me being a man, she'd be believed. Women are the victims, men are the perpetrators. This is how the psychology of the police is, and that was really frightening. But she didn't report me, and she didn't accuse me to the police. She just denied everything to the police. Can you give an example that you would do in daily life that would start a conflict? Anything. I'll give you I already gave you an example of like I'd move in bed, I would breathe too heavy, or sniff or whatever. That would cause conflict. Disagreeing with her would cause conflict. She called me into the bathroom one day, and again this is in the book, and she called me into the bathroom, and I'd left the toilet seat up. Now I know that can be frustrating for you ladies out there, if your partners leave the toilet seat up, but she ranted, shouted for a good 5, 6 minutes, just shouting in my face that I shouldn't have done that. And not only should I not have left the toilet seat up, I should put the toilet seat down but leave the lid up, because when she wanted to go to the toilet at night in the dark, she wanted to be able to go into the bathroom and sit straight down onto the toilet without doing anything. That was my fault. Shouldn't have done it. I started off by laughing, soon found out that was the wrong thing to do, and I ended up apologising for it, unfortunately. So, yeah, it could be anything, really. Anything could start a conflict. 5A and 5B. Did you ever handle the abuse by being abusive yourself? And 5B is, did you ever physically violently react to the abuse? We have to distinguish between what is abuse and what is aggression. They are two entirely different things. If you hit somebody, that's not necessarily abuse. That would be aggression. Abuse, the difference, abuse is control. You hit somebody because you want to control that person. And it isn't a one-off thing. It's a regular thing. It's a regular occurrence. And it usually comes hand in hand with psychological abuse, psychological manipulation, emotional manipulation, coercive control, gaslighting. It comes with a package, really. Aggression is totally different. And when I was attacked the first big time, no, before I was attacked, I spoke to a friend about why would Monica hit me and what I can do about it. And she said that I needed to be a Romanian man. I can't be an English man. I had to be a Romanian man, and a Romanian man would hit his woman. And I was like, I don't want to hit anybody. But she insisted that the only way to control Monica and to stop her from hitting me is to hit her. One night, Monica attacked me. I mean, big time attacked me. And I took her friend's advice and sort of slapped her in a half-hearted way. Sort of, I didn't want to do it, but like maybe this is the way to handle things. Her mate was wrong. Her mate was totally wrong. Monica went mental. She kicked me, punched me, spat at me in the face. She kicked me in between my legs. She repeatedly kicked me on my back. And the next day I collapsed at work and was taken into hospital. I had 5 weeks off work, 3 of those were on crutches. I never slapped her again, never even attempted to. The next time I laid hands on her, kind of thing, well, I laid hands on her trying to keep her off sometimes, trying to keep her away from me, trying to stop being hurt. But it was sort of just hands up, stay away, stay away. Then the last time that she hit me, we were in my spare room in the flat, and she was between me and the door, and I needed to get out of there. I was going to get battered if I didn't get out of there. And she, only being a little girl, I picked her up and threw her onto the bed and escaped. Those are the times that I laid hands on her. When you're brought up like myself, if you don't hit a woman, even when that woman is fisting you in the face, you don't raise a hand. So my mum and dad brought me up well, but he didn't protect me in any way. Next question. Did she ever deny the abusive things she did to you? Yes, she did. All the time. How often? All the time. She denied it all the time. No way did she do anything wrong, and she completely denied any abusive behaviour at all. And the final question, can you tell me what silent treatment is and how did it make you feel? The silent treatment is refusing to communicate at all. I hate that. I would rather have an argument than be ignored. The silent treatment, you have no control. It's frightening. You don't know how they feel. You can't tell them how you feel because they don't want to know. And it's really frightening. It's really lonely. You don't know when that silent treatment is going to explode into something huge. So, yeah, that's horrible. Absolutely horrible. And to shut your emotions off is just possibly the worst thing you can do. If you're in a relationship, if anybody out there is in a relationship, you need to talk. If you've got problems, you need to talk. You need to communicate. Don't give them the cold shoulder. I'm not talking to you. Don't do it. Just communicate with each other, care about one another, love each other. Thank you very, very much for your questions. I hope I've answered them all. And if you have any more questions, just tell Teresa and she'll get in touch with me and I'll make another video like this. Okay? You take care. Peace.